Internet, and welcome to Medium Morals. It's me, Em, and today we're going to be talking about The Little Mermaid. But more specifically, I'm going to be focusing my review on Ursula and her character.
It's done then!
Now, you might be wondering, what can we actually learn and what morals are there that we can learn from a villain character? And demonstrate some negative qualities and some things that you can come across in the real world. More specifically, this comes down to manipulation and how you can deal with and prepare for it, you know? And how you have to be a good judge of character and figure out when you're being told the truth and when people are just trying to take advantage of you. I'm going to be using an example that you are faced with every day. How many times do you download an app or create an account on a website only to be faced with a long piece of text that has a scroll bar, even starting at a young age and being a little kid? How many of you exactly read the whole entire block of text and read the terms and conditions word for word as they want you to, or as they want you to agree to at the bottom? Nobody. Absolutely nobody reads the entire thing. And that is the main problem that I would like to discuss today. A lot of times people will try to get you to agree to things, and most companies and people will look out for their best interests.
She's mine now. We made a deal.
Daddy, I'm sorry!
As most of you might remember, Ursula gives Ariel this contract. She knows that she's going to lose her voice, and she knows that she's only going to have a specific amount of time to get the prince to kiss her. What she does not know, and what is in the contract, is actually that she's going to turn into one of those little eels if she fails. And that's something that's revealed at the end, and it's a big shocker, but it's in the contract, so she has to stick to it. Now this part is something that's not as well known. You know, she wouldn't have known that unless she read it. And the way that Ursula presents her this information is in a way designed to manipulate and convince her to sign the paper without actually knowing the consequences that would lie in the future. Now, Little Mermaid is a great movie, and Ariel is a really good Disney princess. However, she does not make the best decision in this situation. She should have done more than just sign that terms and conditions long piece of paper really as fast as she did. Because there's a lot of writing there, and even the way they animate it, you can't really read the thing at all. After a bit of extra research, I found that actually the contract signed with Ursula shouldn't be legally binding, and let's just kind of ignore that for purposes of this video. And if you can see, I'll put up a picture right now of the text in the contract. You see the top 3 lines are very large font, you can see them perfectly well, and all those little lines underneath, that's kind of like the terms and conditions that you'll see on websites and apps that are meant to mislead you. Companies cover all their tracks and have as much control over the people as they want. Basically, if you're giving companies your data and you don't read the terms and conditions, you don't know where that is actually going.
So, they invented this snarf to make fine music. Allow me.
Okay, I found this really interesting article about terms and conditions actually, and there's this one that's called, it's basically an experiment. They took a bunch of college students and they gave them this new social media app called Name Drop. A lot of the students, and probably almost all of the ones that were like introduced to this app and wanted to download it, actually downloaded and agreed to terms of service that had in a long list said that they would give up their firstborn child to the developers of the app, which is actually really funny. Although we all know it is obvious that we should not sign Ursula's little contract and give up our voice for a chance to walk with legs. I know I already have legs, so I don't even have to worry about that one. But although we all know that Ursula is a villain, how do we know who is actually a villain in the world that we're living in right now? The answer is actually pretty simple. Do a few Google searches, find out other people who've looked into the terms and service or know if that website's legit, and do your own research.
I don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad.
Thanks for coming with me under the sea for this video. I know I didn't talk too much about the actual movie, but I mean, I do appreciate it, and I think this video, it's just important to focus on this very specific portion of the movie, and it's harder to actually look at the thing as a whole because it's just such a classic movie. I don't know what I can say about it that like people don't already know. It's Little Mermaid, you know? I probably have it up on my wall somewhere. This right here. You can't see it. Little Mermaid actually used to be my favorite princess. Let me know if Ariel's your favorite princess, and if not, who is? I'd love to know. People really just want your money. They just want, like, to take advantage in any way they can. And it's important to just know what you're doing and to be prepared. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned next week for S has a new video on another book. And if you haven't seen it already, check out last week's video about Picture Us in the Light. It is my favorite video on this channel so far, so you should check it out. And bye, Internet!